What's going on, everyone? Hayden here, and I'm coming at you guys with a super specific video that's been requested by multiple people every single day. I know I've been making a lot of content talking about influencer marketing, shout outs, and how you can use that for your Shopify store, but a lot of people have been asking me how to actually qualify a page, go through, select which one you want to do, which one you don't. So I'm gonna try and throw up some screenshots, give examples, and go through some very random accounts. No, I have not run shout outs on any of these pages. These are just random ones I've found. And again, your store is probably in a different niche than mine, and all these different pages I'm gonna show you. So these will have absolutely no influence on you. I would not recommend using them. But I'm gonna go through, some good ones, some bad ones, and kind of break down what I look for. So first things first, when actually looking through a page, is you wanna make sure it has good, organic, and real engagement. Now, organic does mean real, but at the same time, that could just be an engagement group, which means, if you go in the comment section and there's 30 comments and 3,000 likes, that's a pretty good ratio, right? But if you go through the comments and actually scroll through it, and all those pages are just very similar pages, that means those aren't real people. Those are they are real people, but they have influencer pages that are similar. So what these people basically do is they're all in a big group together. Every time someone posts, they're gonna like, they're gonna comment and all that on someone's post to help boost them up. But those aren't the people you want to be commenting, liking, all that stuff. You want real people who are gonna be potential customers. So definitely look through the comments. Most people are in engagement groups, but if you have far more people who are just regular, normal, everyday people than accounts that are similar to theirs, that's what I'm looking for. I definitely want those real people. Now, as for legitimate numbers and stuff, talking about engagement, if they have, let's say, 50,000 followers, I'd be looking for at least 2,000 likes on every post. I also do take into account, I'm gonna show you guys some examples here in a little bit, but their post description, how are they structuring it? Does it look like shit? Does it not look like shit? How are they using their hashtags? All those different things are gonna play into the fact, because that's gonna affect how my post is gonna reach people, how many people it's gonna reach, who it's reaching. Obviously, you wanna make sure you're getting in front of the right audience. So that's all the stuff we're gonna break down, but right now, I'm gonna try and find a random account. I'm gonna just pick a niche and I'm gonna throw up a screenshot right here and talk about it. All right, so the first one we're gonna look at is luxurycars.billionaires. Now, I just have no connection to this thing. I just randomly found the account. But if you look at it, they have 39.1 thousand followers. And they post luxury cars, cool stuff like that. Now, so if we're actually gonna break down their account, if you look at one of their posts here, I'm gonna throw them up on the screen. 5,400 likes, 52, 53, 53, so they're getting about 5,000 likes, which is really good, but this is where you need to look a little bit further. Look into their comments, right? I'm gonna try and throw up a screenshot of this. They have at least 20 to 30 on every single post, which is good engagement rate for all of it. It looks very good and organic, but all these pages are other influencer pages. Anywhere from 20,000 to 100,000 followers, which is not what we're looking for. That means they're sending all their posts into a really big engagement group, maybe multiple, and boosting their posts onto the explore page every single time they post. And they're not gonna do that for your shout out, so it's gonna be very ineffective, right? Because you can't judge right now what your post is gonna do on this page, because their current numbers aren't exactly accurate. Those are just boosted. Now, one thing you could do is a story shout out. You'd have to have them post on their story and kind of show you a screenshot of what the results are looking like. That might work. But for this specific page, I would say it's a no-go unless the price is $5, then I'd test it. But a page like this, it's just all boosted. That's in engagement groups. That's a no. Now, the next page we're gonna look at is foods and tips. Again, I'm just jumping around random pages and random niches. So if one of these pages falls in line with your store, go ahead, do shout outs on them. Here's my opinion on this one. So first thing I see is 655,000 followers. That's good. They have 510 posts. That's a lot of credibility. They've been around. They're posting consistently. They're probably at least a year old, because most people post once a day. So 510, that's a good almost 2 years. But now look at these actual posts. They specialize in viral content, which means they're getting 20,000, 300,000, 500,000, whatever it is. They're getting hundreds of thousands of views on all of their posts, which is really good. So let's try and figure out why they're doing that. First of all, this type of content is stuff that can hit the explore page really easily once it gets some traction. So we got to figure out what they're doing to get that traction. It could be engagement groups, it could be fake like boosting on it, or it could just be a really good page that's doing well in the Instagram API or anything. But just by scrolling through the comments here, they're getting about 100 comments, 50 comments. Most of these are legitimate people, a good amount. This is kind of half and half from what I'm seeing. Yeah, definitely a lot of these are from engagement groups, but at the same time, there's also a lot of comments that aren't. Reason being is because it's just getting so many views, hundreds of thousands of views. A lot of regular people are bound to comment. So this is kind of one of those middle accounts where you got to make a decision. Is it worth testing it? Because obviously your post probably isn't going to go viral and get hundreds of thousands of views. They're not going to put you in their engagement group. You can ask, but I don't think that would really make a difference at all. You want to reach the right people. So for this page, I wouldn't really test it out unless you have a really cool video ad for a product that's on your store, something that that can go viral and get traction. You could do an Instagram story shout out for them. You just have to ask for a screenshot of one of their current story posts and kind of see exactly, you know, what their numbers are looking like, how many views, how many clicks, all those different things. Ask them for the statistics. If people are hesitant and don't exactly want to give you their statistics and they kind of back away and avoid that question, that's a big red flag, so be careful with that. Oftentimes I'll even ask them for a screenshot of their data. You know, if it's a business page, I'll be like, all right, show me some screenshots of your insights so I can see how many people are men, how many are women, to make sure my products are actually in line with their audience. Now this next one I'm going to show you is a perfect example of something I'd be willing to test out. They aren't a lot of engagement groups, but it's a solid page, good organic reach, and I would probably try and do a story post for this page, and that's Evolve Summer, or Evolve Summer, however you say it. This page right here is 76.5 thousand followers, 106 posts, quality content. This is stuff that hits the explore page all the time. So if you post some sort of female swimwear or whatever, you get a lot of traction with a post like this. You just would probably want to ask them for their audience insights, because typically, you know, just you got to think outside the box here. A lot of men are probably following these pages, not just women, because it's not really centered around information about bikinis like something women would be searching for. This is more like a, ooh, look at the hot girl all the men follow. You know, so you want to make sure you're targeting the right audience. And if they have 90% male following, you can just advertise them male products, right? Because they're never going to see that on a page like this. So it'd be a good way to attack them because this page isn't all used up. But they're getting anywhere from like 5,000 to 8,000 likes, which is really, really good. That's actually very impressive for a page of this size. You're seeing about a 10% engagement rate. That's what my pages were looking like when they were really booming, then it died off. And that was completely legit. So I wasn't using a ton of different engagement groups like these people are. If you look at all them, I'm gonna throw up a picture of the comments. 98% of the comments is all similar pages, which is fine for a story post. You just wanna make sure you know how many people you're reaching before you actually pay them. So I'll usually ask them, you know, what's your average views? And then if they have a current story up, I'm gonna say, all right, send me a screenshot right now of how many views that has. You know, it's been up for 4 hours, it has 1,000 views. All right, we're good to go for 10 bucks. I'm definitely gonna try it. Now, one thing I do want to clarify is most of the shoutouts we're testing and running are story posts, because you can test it a lot easier. It's cheaper. You know, story posts are new, especially with the swipe up feature, and most people don't know how to price them that well yet. So you can usually get them from like 5 to 30 bucks for a page, anywhere from like 20 to 300,000 followers. That's kind of the range I'm looking for actual story posts. And if it goes well on there, then I'll test out, you know, a package deal for another story post or two, as well as a main post on their page. So really the key points when trying to qualify a page you need to look at is go actually scroll through their comment section and see who's leaving them. Right? If it's just a ton of other pages like I've talked about, similar pages, influencer pages, not just regular people with like 100 followers, that just means they're leaving comments like nice, cool, good one, love it, all that stuff. That's something to stay away from. Now again, shoutouts are very low entry cost, which is like, you know, I've talked about that compared to Facebook ads, but you know, it's usually worth testing out an influencer shout out on their page. If they're getting some sort of traction, they have 5,000 likes, they're getting a couple thousand views on their story, you know, for 10 bucks, it's worth it. At the worst, a couple thousand more people are gonna know about your brand. So you definitely wanna make sure you're super selective with who you pick, especially if you're gonna pay them for a shout out. I'll reach out to a lot of people who I kind of think are okay, just because most people won't respond. I did make a video on how to reach out to influencers, but it's really, really tough to get them to respond. So once you build that list of 10 to 30 influencers who can get you results every time they post, just get their phone numbers or whatever, a quick way to contact them, and then you can stack, right? Now what that means is you're just gonna spend an entire day, you know, every week, every other week, whatever it is, just go through, pay them, line up the posts, and then they're gonna be posting every single day, every other day, whatever it is, all these different accounts for you, and then you just sit back and watch the orders come in, and you can work on other things for a few weeks. So that's one thing you definitely wanna look forward to. Just reach out to as many people as possible. I know I've talked about that in other videos, but I hope this answers the question that I've been getting all the time on actually how do I pick pages. You know, people really wanted screenshots, so I hope I was able to throw all those up there and they look good. I'm really new to editing and everything, but if you want to keep seeing daily videos like this, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, and let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to get these cranking out. Take care.